Okay, so we were basically on initial measurement. With respect to PPE. So we learned that this PPE can be acquired at cost, that is nothing but cash. So then it was recognized at cost. The second area was exchange, and the third area we had is self-constructed. Now if we are acquiring a PPE through exchange, because we have already considered through cash, if it is cash, then what were the expenses which were added to the cost of property, plant, equipment as per our IND AS 16? It is nothing but the purchase cost plus directly attributable expenses plus taxes and duties of which no refund or credit will be claimed minus trade discount plus, very important point, yes, what was that point? Present value of cost of, future cost of dismantling or decommissioning, provided I have an obligation. Yeah, so that is what we already completed. Now we are on exchange. Now when we are learning this second part, exchange, what is happening in case of an exchange? I am giving an asset and receiving PPE. I am giving an asset and what I receive is a property, plant, equipment. So what is coming in is property, plant, equipment. What is going out is asset. Not necessary. It has to be PPE only. What is going out may be investment, maybe a financial asset, maybe investment property, maybe inventories, any asset is going out and what is coming in is just PPE. So this PPE, what is coming in is to be recognized at what? So the standard says PPE is to be recognized at fair value, provided number one, the exchange transaction lacks commercial substance, and number two, fair value either of PPE acquired or asset given up cannot be determined. So our IND AS says that the PP is to be recognized at fair value. I gave you inventory, I got machine. I gave you investment, a financial asset, what I got was furniture. So this furniture or this machinery will be recognized at what amount? At fair value, provided the exchange transaction lacks commercial substance or the fair value either of the PPE received or the asset given up is not determinable. In that case, we have to recognize it at cost of asset given up. ये दो केस में I will be recognizing it at cost of asset given up. Now let's understand, exchange transaction lacks commercial substance. When I say the transaction lacks commercial substance, means the cash flow of the entity remains unchanged after the exchange transaction. There is no change in my cash flow after the exchange has happened. So we say it lacks commercial substance. So what does it means when I say the transaction lacks commercial substance? So when I say the transaction lacks commercial substance, means the cash flow is not going to get affected. It means the cash flow of the entity remains unchanged after the exchange transaction. If that is the case, then we will recognize the PPE at book value of the asset given up, plus or minus some cash consideration. Like there is asset X given up, whose fair value is say 10,000. Asset Y received with some fair value, say 11,000. Book value of X, it's somewhere 8,000. Now when I will recognize the Y, if I say this exchange lacks commercial substance, then this X which is given up, its book value will be recognized. So I will say Y will be recognized in the books at 8,000. If I have given some cash, so I will say 8 plus cash, say 1,000 cash. So Y will be recognized, the asset Y which I am receiving, I will be recognizing at 9,000. 8,000 this plus 1,000. So my entry would be Y account debit 9,000 to cash 1,000 to asset X 8,000. Or I receive 500, then I will say Y account debit 7,500, cash account debit 500 to asset X 8,000. What is going out is asset X, what is coming in is asset Y. So cash is paid, then I will say asset Y debit 9,000 to asset X 8,000 to cash 1,000. But if asset Y comes along with that, I also receive cash. So I say asset Y debit 7,500, cash debit 500 to asset X 8,000. This is to be passed. This will come only if this point number 1 is there. Which point number 1? The exchange lacks commercial substance. Then only this. What is commercial substance? The cash flow does not have any change after the transaction is over. Yeah. So this is what is with respect to exchange. In case of exchange, we will always recognize at fair value except for these two conditions. If these two conditions are there, we will be recognizing it at cost of the asset given up plus or minus cash consideration. Now we move on to the third, self-construction. We are making our own asset. Now when we are making our own asset, how will this work? You would have learnt about Schedule 3 capital work in progress under the head of that asset, non-current asset. Under that you have tangible fixed asset, intangible fixed asset, capital work in progress. I am talking with respect to that capital work in progress. मैं खुद ही अपना asset create कर रहा हूँ. I'm making my own asset. Not necessarily building, it may be furniture, it may be machine, plant, whatsoever, road. So I myself am constructing an asset. So when I construct my asset, I don't say that asset machinery account debit to bank. At the time of construction, I say capital work in progress account debit to whatever it may be, bank or creditors, as the case may be. This is the journal entry which I pass. Capital work in progress account debit to bank or creditors if it is due. So what would be added in this capital work in progress? That is our question. Okay, when you are going for self construction, a capital work in progress mein which are the amounts that will be added? So here comes all direct expenses. Like if I am constructing a building, the material, labor, they are all my direct expenses. Some indirect expenses, they will also be added, plus attributable expenses. Now what will come in attributable expenses? Like there is a supervisor. He is supervising 4 to 5 self-constructed assets. So when he is supervising 4 to 5 self-constructed assets, the salary paid to that supervisor will be attributed on logical basis based on number of hours used in construction of this asset 1, asset 2, asset 3 and so on. That is attributable expenses. Thereafter, borrowing cost, provided IND AS 23 allows. IND AS 23 allows, then borrowing cost will be capitalized, it will be added to it. Cost of demolition. To construct an asset, I have to demolish another asset, the existing asset. There is cost of demolition plus test runs, expenses incurred for making that asset ready. I have to incur some test run whether the asset is going to give me the economic benefit for what it is made of. Of course, when I say cost of demolition, if any scrap is realized from it, that will be reduced from it and only net cost of demolition will be added. Similarly, when I do test run, whatever products are getting produced at that point of time due to test run, if I sell off those products, whatever amount I receive, that will not be considered as my sales, that will be reduced from the amount of test run, cost of test run, and that test run will be added net of it. Of course, one more thing in attributable, I only spoke about supervisor salary. You can also have depreciation on asset used for construction. Like, I am constructing a building. To construct the building, I require crane. To operate the crane, I pay operator salary. To use that crane, I have to pay for fuel. They all will come under this indirect expenses and all those things. But what about depreciation on that crane? The crane is giving me economic benefit, but that economic benefit is not getting reflected to the credit side of my P&L. But that economic benefit is getting reflected in the asset which is getting constructed. And hence, the depreciation for the period for which the crane is used to construct the asset will be added to the cost of the asset. That is nothing but attributable. If the depreciation is 5 lakhs and I have used it for only 3 months for construction of the building, then 5 lakhs depreciation will not go to profit and loss account. Out of that 5 lakhs, only 1,25,000 proportionately. 5 lakhs is for 12 months, 3 months, 1,25,000. Only 1,25,000 will be added here. Here it will be added. Same way, present value of cost of demolition or decommissioning. To be incurred at end. Same what we had for cost. If we are creating an asset or constructing an asset which requires that at the end it has to be dismantled, safeguards are there, it is hazardous asset, I have to dismantle it, I have to decommission it and dispose it of carefully, and there is an obligation on me today. See, ऐसा नहीं सोचने का सर शायद मेरे को खर्चा करना पड़ेगा. It is nothing to do with if I have to pay. It has nothing to do with if. Today there should be an obligation. Okay, sir, you constructed an asset today, so you have an obligation. The obligation is to pay for decommissioning. So that obligation amount estimated and find its present value. This will be referred as the total cost of construction. So whenever this expense will be incurred, it will be capital work in progress to bank, capital work in progress to depreciation, capital work in progress to supervisor salary, and so on. Capital work in progress to interest if it is borrowing cost, capital work in progress to obligation, that is nothing but to provision for decommissioning cost. Once everything is done, thereafter the balance in this asset account will be transferred to the actual asset. Balance in this capital work in progress, I mean to say, the balance in this capital work in progress account will be transferred to asset account by passing an entry. Asset, whatever name, it is machinery, so machinery account debit to capital work in progress. If it is building, building account debit to capital work in progress. And this is the day from when the depreciation will be charged on this asset. Till the asset is not ready for intended use, we accumulate all this cost under an head known as capital work in progress, and then after it is transferred to a particular asset account and depreciation will be charged. So if you look properly, the initial recognition of an item of a PPE, initial measurement of a PPE, if it is acquired through cash, acquisition, exchange and self-construction, these are the three areas for which we discuss.